everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have been busy crocheting, busy knitting this month, mostly crocheting, which is really interesting. So I am back for another month to share what I have been working on. For those of you who might be new, my name's Marina and I am the creator, owner, yarn dyer at Pineapple Yarn, which is a hand-dyed yarn company and knitting accessories company. So yeah, let's get started. I am really excited because I do have a near finished object and I've not shown it to you since, well, I've never shown it to you. I cast on, I think it was around 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, but this is my Tineola Shawl. It is a pattern by Ambah O'Brien and I really wanted to knit a small shawl, like a shawlette, and I wanted to use this beautiful yarn. This colorway is Neon Jade by Pineapple Yarn, and it's like a tonal green, neon green, so it really glows. It's so beautiful in real life. But the Tineola, as far as I remember what the pattern says, it is the moth that eats wool. So I've never had that problem, but I know that it can be a problem for some people. So like I said, this is the Tineola Shawl. I used less than a skein of yarn. This is knit on my Lani sock base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon. And it has about just a little over 460 yards per skein, so I forgot to weigh my leftovers, but I didn't even come close to using the full skein. And this is it's a nice size shawlette. It's really nice. So the pattern calls for a US size 5. I used a 3 just because that is the size that I normally use when I'm knitting a fingering weight shawl. I feel like I always get gauged. It's nice. So trying not to bump my microphone, but this is what it looks like. I forgot to weave in the ends, so I need to do that. But how cute is this? I think it just looks so cute and adds a pop of color. And honestly, even though it has the lace work in it, which is a very small amount, it's not complicated, it's very straightforward. And even though it has the lace, I feel like you could use a variegated yarn or a speckled yarn and it would look really, really nice. So I just knit it with this skein because I really love this color. It's so pretty. It's not like your typical neon green. Has more blue in it. It's less yellow. It has a little more blue, so it's almost a turquoise, but it's not quite that blue, if that makes sense. So, like I said, this is the Tineola Shawl. And it has these really pretty eyelets, big eyelets on the bottom, which were very easy to knit. I felt like this pattern was just challenging enough with the moth motif here, and that gave it some interest, and it was a little bit challenging just to figure out, but once you figured it out, it was very, very straightforward. So I definitely recommend this pattern in case you want a one skein fingering weight pattern. I really enjoyed it, and you never know, I may knit it again because it was really, really enjoyable. So the other things that I have been working on this month, so one of my daughters, and now two, really, really want me to crochet them just little cardigans that have short sleeves, but would be going over like a summer dress. So you could put it on when you go into a building that's over air conditioned, which I don't know if other countries have this problem, but definitely here in the South. I mean, we're very thankful. I'm very thankful for the air conditioning, but it's a little excessive at times. It's a little much. So all that being said, my daughters, two of them, really wanted me to crochet them some little cardigans. So I found this really interesting pattern, and I don't have a picture of it. I only have the actual pattern, so I'll post a picture of it right here. It's called the Golden Cardigan, and it's a pattern by a designer called Wonder Netting. I found it on Etsy, or maybe one of my girls found it on Etsy. I can't remember now, but it's not on Ravelry, and I couldn't find any other projects on Ravelry that had been crocheted from this pattern. So it was kind of a gamble to start it and figure it out. As you could see from that picture, it's extremely cropped. So what I did is I started crocheting it, and it's in pieces. I'm using, let's see, I'm using an F hook. I think it just calls for a 4mm, and I am using a 4mm, but I've noticed that sometimes a G hook in US terms is a 4mm. So I just used this F hook, which says 4mm, and it's working out great. So it is crocheted in pieces. So you crochet the front and the two front pieces, then the back, and then the sleeves, and then you attach everything together. And so far, this has been so fast. I cannot even believe it. Even though I am increasing the length on it, this is the front piece, or one of the front pieces. Isn't that so pretty? So as you can see, there is this decrease, so you crochet from the bottom up. What I did is I crocheted rows 1 through 16, then I went back and I started crocheting row 1 again. So I started here and crocheted this flower motif, crocheted rows 1 through 10, and then I jumped to row 17, and that's kind of where the decreases begin. So I think that's so pretty. This is what it looks like close up. So you can see this flower motif. It's just some interesting crochet motifs. Every row is different, which is really fun. The nice thing is, though, once you start crocheting, it just goes by so quickly, because the front, the back, the sleeves, they're all crocheted the same. Row 1 on all of them are the same, row 2 is the same, etc. So once I figured out the length and how many repeats of the rows I wanted to do, it was very fast. So there's the front, and then I have another front here. I don't know which is front, or if it's backwards, forwards. And then there's a little scallop, like a little shell edging, which is really nice, that will go along here and just around all the open areas. I guess it'll come up around the back of the neck and down when it's done. So that's the other front. And then I'm on the back right now. And I just started this a week ago, and I've already done all this, which is pretty interesting. It's pretty impressive. So here's the back. And I just finished that second flower motif. So I don't have really that much left on here. And I should mention the yarn I'm using. I didn't know what yarn to use because I tried to look up yarn substitutions and whatnot. So what I ended up doing is just use the same yarn that was recommended in the pattern, which is Hobbii. I think it's just called Hobbii Baby Cotton. And I have never used this brand before, but it's a very straightforward fingering weight, 100% cotton. And this color is, let's see what color this is. It's color number 2. So hopefully that's helpful. And I think I'm on my 3rd ball, and I bought 5, but I'm imagining I will only use 4. So it's a very small amount. These are 50-gram balls, and each one has 170 meters or 185 yards. And it's, to me, it feels like a fingering weight, so you could probably crochet this in a fingering weight pattern or in a fingering weight yarn, and even, you know, wool yarn or whatnot. But the cotton is so nice for the summer. So far it's turning out great, and I will keep you updated on it. The second sweater, the second golden cardigan that I will be crocheting will probably, it's for my younger daughter, so it will be shorter, smaller, and once I know the pattern, I'm sure it will just fly by. So that's been a really fun crocheting pattern and something different. I haven't done anything like this before, and I started off by reading, you know, using the written instructions, and then it is charted, so the charts are so much easier to follow once you know the pattern. And I'm carrying this in one of my sweet knitting baskets. This is the small basket with the handle that I have in the shop right now. So it's perfect. It's a perfect size for this pattern. Now my next project has been a work in progress for years. And I just picked it up again, and it is outgrowing its bag. So I have it in this Christmas bag, and it's this oversized Christmas project bag made by Jenny of J&J Craft Co. I will link her store below. She has really nice bags, and I love this bag, but this blanket is really getting large. So I will show it to you. This is a blanket I started 4 or 5 years ago. So I started this in either 2020 or 2021, and it was only for the minis from my mini mystery club. So unfortunately, when I closed the club and I closed my shop for a brief period, I didn't have any minis to crochet this with. So let me show you where I'm at, and I will show you a little bit of the yarn. I haven't added this month's yarn, so I've restarted the mini mystery club in June, in this month. So I do have June's yarn to still add, and I'll show you that another time. But this is it so far. And it is a granny stripe blanket, as you can probably tell. And the width of this, I just kind of guessed. It was a little bit of trial and error when I first started. I wanted it to fit one of my DK weight minis, 2 rows, so back and forth. And so if you, I'll show you a close up here, if I can find an edge. So as you can see, each stripe is from one mini, and this is a DK weight. You could also do this with a fingering weight held double to make a DK weight. So these are all of my clubs from the past years. And I think my last one, I have, let's see, I'm working on my very last clubs that were from, I want to say October or November of 2022, which is crazy. Isn't that pretty though? It's so fun dyeing my yarn and then getting out old old yarn, or, you know, leftovers, or in this case from my club, and I'm always just like, oh, I love that yarn, which is great because I'm the one who dyed it. But I think this is from October or November because these two went together. I already have the third. The third, I think, was this purple. This really pretty purple. So I have these 3 left, and then I will have June, so June of 2025, ready to add. And I'm not going to show that yet because I'm not sure if everyone's received their clubs. You should have, because they were sent out a couple of weeks ago. But I'll put some instructions or like a tutorial, a link for where I figured out how to do this, or I learned how to do this. This was from, I think Attic24 has a granny stripe pattern or recipe. So I will link to that. It was obviously 4 or 5 years ago. It was many years ago when I started this. So I don't remember all the details. But I did chain. You can see this neon piece here. I just chained and then I started doing the cluster stitch, I guess, or the triple stitch that granny, you know, your traditional granny square would use. So that's what I did with that. But I'm so excited to start on this again because I think it's going to be such a fun, cozy blanket. And obviously I have quite a ways to go depending on how long I want it. I'm not going for like a gigantic blanket. So right now I'll fold it in half and you can see, I haven't measured it, but I want to say it's probably a good, here it is folded into fourths. So this is at least 12 inches, if not more. So it's about 4 feet wide. And then I'll probably just keep crocheting on it. It's so nice having a project like this and having a club like this where you can just add the yarn and it's not a big project every month. So you can still keep up with all of your other projects you want to cast on and you want to begin or finish, but you can still have a long-term project like this that it doesn't take long to add 3 minis, and that's what my club is, my mini mystery club. It's just 3 minis a month, and eventually I'll have a really beautiful, beautiful blanket. So I'll link this club down below, but so far this has been so much fun and I've really enjoyed it. So I'm personally glad that I started dyeing the clubs again. But that is really all I've been working on this month. I feel like there should be other things. You know what? There is one more thing. I started a sock. Let's see, it's in my, when I received this cotton yarn for my golden cardigan, I threw it into my sock basket and kind of forgot about my socks. So I do have a hybrid sock going right now. This is what it looks like so far. I love these green stripes. Oops, these are by Area 51 Fibers. I really love their colors, their colorways. And these are for my son, which is, he's just gonna love these so much. He asked if he could wear them as soon as I finished them. And I told him he probably wouldn't because it's so hot, and he said he didn't care. So that's really sweet. And then this tweed, this really pretty rusty tweed colorway, I think is from Woolberry yarn. Woolberry yarn? Let me see if I have the, oh, look at that. Woolberry fiber, I knew that. Okay, there. I had it in the middle of the cake. And it's called Forage. So I just thought this would be a really nice color to have as an accent. And I almost forgot what to tell you about the striped colorway. So this is from Area 51 Fibers, and it is called The Truth Is Out There from, I think it's from the X-Files. So I thought that was kind of fun. But like all of my socks, I knit this, or I cranked this on my sock machine, split it, and then I'm just adding the heels, toes, and cuffs now. And I did post a video a few weeks ago about the process, how I do this with socks. So in case you're interested. And I'm knitting these on a 2.25 millimeter Addy, I think it's a 24-inch circular needle. And I have my cute progress keeper. I love that Progress Keeper. It's my favorite. This was from the Camellia Tea Time kit. I think I have 2 of those left in the shop. Such a cute kit. So that is a sock that I have not worked on in a little bit because I was really into this, into the cardigan, into the blanket. But really that is all oh, and this. I did crochet or knit this and cast it off so fast. This was a really fun pattern. I really enjoyed this. I haven't knit a shawl in a really long time. I will probably cast another one on definitely within the next month. I'm so excited. But that is really all I have been working on this month, and I hope you are enjoying your summer or winter, depending on what hemisphere you're in. It has been so hot here, but I have been just still steady crocheting, knitting, doing all the crafty things. So I hope everything is going well where you are. I would love if you would like and subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. And I'll be back next month with another making podcast. And I have a shop update next week, so I will be back with another video then. But until then, I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.